We're talking about gender identity issues. Now, what would you do if a boy came to your child's school in a dress, heels, fake breast, a wig, and wanted to use the girls' bathroom? Now, that's the issue parents and students are facing at Pace High School in Pace, Florida.
I never thought my high school would be the center of the news and all this because the kid was cross-dressed out of school. It's pretty crazy.
It's definitely been an uproar. He seems to be getting away with being out of dress code.
The child has a right to his identity. It's going to take him time to find out what that is.
I think this guy is wrong because if you're a boy, wear boys' clothes, use the boys' restroom, don't try to trick everybody out and go use the girls' bathroom.
It really doesn't bother me that he's wearing girls' clothes.
My daughter said she had a problem with the boy being in school, and I said, well, he has a right to his education.
The first time I ever saw him was last year. He was a boy, and he was like wearing boys' clothes. And then the second time I seen him, he was wearing a wig and dressed in girls' clothes. I was like, dang, son.
It's important for children to be children and to know their own gender.
During that 7 hours when you're in school, I feel like every child should equally be following the rules.
I think that the exceptions they're making for him, I think it's fine. I don't think it's getting in the way of anything or hurting anyone.
I hope everybody leaves him alone. That's all. Just leave him alone, let him live his life.
Some people say that we're making too big of a deal out of it, but I think it is a big thing because it's about treating students equally.
When he gets 25, 30 years old, he can move to another town, become a woman, and nobody never know the difference. Where right now, everybody knows what he is, and it affects everybody.
If he wants to wear girls' clothing, there's plenty of time when school is not in.
Well, the principal and school superintendent respectfully declined our offer to appear on the show today. But with us today is Robert Rosenwald, who is a lawyer for the transgender student. Also with Dawn and Debbie, two parents whose children attend Pace High School. And Debbie, you think it's a distraction to your son?
I definitely think it's a distraction. There are dress rules in our school, and one of them is they can't dress in a manner that's disruptive or distractive at school. They're there for an education. All teenagers have issues, but there's a place for that. They're there primarily to get an education. The kids are confused. They don't really know what's going on, and how do you explain it to your child?
Do you really think it's a distraction that is going to dilute your son's education? I mean, do you think your son is going to come out less prepared for college because this kid comes to school dressed in girls' clothes?
No, but he has the typical teen response. It's not fair. Why is this child allowed to go to school dressed in a manner that is distractive when he's not even allowed to wear a cap to school because they consider that distractive? Okay, kids with nose rings have to remove them. If they have their hair colored, they are out of school.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that either. But
that's a big part of the issue. Is many of the teens feel exactly that he is getting special treatment, and that's
okay,
a big part of it.
Is he? I mean, because I assume they say that the girls aren't to dress provocatively, and they can't have bare midriffs, and they can't have super short skirts, and that sort of thing. Is he wearing bare midriff and super short skirts, or is he dressing like all the other girls are permitted to dress?
We have not actually seen him. Our children have and have explained a lot of this. I don't believe he's going with the shorter skirts. He is often wearing dresses as opposed to, say, jeans or something.
So the disruptive part is that it's a boy wearing those clothes, not the clothes themselves.
Right, because
the clothes aren't in violation of the code.
Right.
It's the fact that there's a boy that's wearing the clothes that conform to the code. What's your take on this?
The real story is this kid going through a transition in her life. She's receiving appropriate medical care. As part of that care, she's required to dress in conformity with her gender identity. Her family has educated itself and come together and come to support her. And this community needs to do the same. And I think that what you can do is to stand with Stephanie. You can go with me to the Santa Rosa County School Board and ask them to pass a resolution prohibiting discrimination, harassment, and bullying against people based on their sexual orientation and based on their transgendered status.
And let me jump in here, because I can't tell you how much I agree with what you just said about there being a policy about not harassing, bullying, or getting after in any fashion whatsoever somebody based on their sexual orientation or any other thing. We're not talking about here just some guy that put on a wig so he could go in the girls' bathroom and scope out the chicks.
There are some that believe that, of course.
Well, I know, but that's not what we're talking about here. The history of this family and this situation and circumstance suggests that this is not some kind of prank. This is not some attention-getting ploy. This is a very real issue with this family and with this child. I think it's important for our children to be educated and create an understanding and a spirit of inclusion for those that walk a different path than they do in all different ways. Because, somehow or another, we can get very insular where we feel like there's a right and a wrong way to dress, a right and a wrong way to wear your hair, a right and a wrong sport to play, right and wrong music to like. I mean, where you can just really get into a very narrow-minded point of view.
That in our little community, it has to do with the other kids can't wear this and this and this and this. They have rules that say they can't do this and this. If they do, they get suspension, they get this, they get that. Where all of them are saying, why can I not even wear a simple baseball hat, but yet he can wear the dress, wear the wig, the makeup, the breasts.
I think that is a great discussion, a great debate to have within the school, and they'll have to work that out and resolve it. Okay, next we're going to talk to the parents of a 4-year-old girl who insists that she's a boy. Now, her parents' question for me when we come back.
Kaylee looks like a beautiful little girl on the outside, but was born with underdeveloped male genitalia on the inside.
She seems to have some sort of a gender identity crisis. She started asking us, is she going to grow up to be a boy? Is she going to grow a penis?